stream. Wow, I am hella zoomed out for a second. Let me pop in a little bit. Great. Cool. So I thought today I would kind of do something that I had planned on my to-do list. And I thought I show you kind of the behind the scenes of what it's like planning YouTube content. And I haven't done a lot of YouTube content in a while. So just try and get back on the horse right here and just getting started again and all that as well. So pretty excited for that sort of stuff. If you are coming in, would appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, all that sort of CTA type of stuff. That'd be really cool. But I'm not going to be planning it for this channel. I actually have a new show coming out for this channel that I'm launching tomorrow, so you guys will see that. I'm calling it the Weekly Hustle. Just literally set up the podcast and all that pretty recently as well. So working on that right now, but everything should be up by tomorrow. So if you guys hit the bell and all that, you'll see updates on that show that I'm creating as well. Really appreciate it, y'all. So what I thought I would do today is kind of plan out some ideas for kick-ass investing. So if you guys don't know, this isn't a plug for it or anything like that, because I'm working on really building the best personal finance course or investing course for beginners out there. So been working on that. That's where most of my focus is going right now. So I thought I'd take some time to kind of plan out some content, kind of show you the behind the scenes of what it's like doing content. I was listening to Roberto Blake recently, and he was just saying have 100 ideas kind of mapped out, and I thought, oh, what a cool exercise. Maybe I could do 100 different ideas for something like my YouTube channel, so I can show you everything as well. So I'm going to show you kind of like the big outline of what I'm trying to do today. I'm using two different tools. One of the tools I showed you last time was Notion. So I use that. It's like it's a very clean type of, I don't know, it's a cleaner version of Evernote that I like a lot more. So I'm going to be using that. And then I'm going to be using a tool called Airtable. Both are up here. So if you want to download your free copies of them, you can just go to those are quick links that will support my channel too. So with all the shameless plugs out of the way, that would be great. Yo, just wondering when your next live would be. Yeah, dude. Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. I was like 10 minutes late because I was trying to build out all the things as well. So I just want to show you a quick let's see. Let's switch to this main screen so you guys can see my screen right now. Basically what I'm doing is I created a little chart in here, basically different investing ideas, different investing questions. What I'm really focusing on is, okay, what are some Roth IRA type of solutions for people, right? What are the biggest questions about Roth IRAs out there or investing in general? So I will be looking at several places, which I'll show you as well. So I'm going to be taking a look. The sources of the ideas will be coming from a few places, right? So I'm going to be taking a look at, and maybe I should use my other computer too, just to kind of make sure it's not lagging as much, because it gets kind of laggy when I do this. So just bear with me 1 second. I actually bought a new laptop as well, or I bought a new mouse as well, where I have the Logitech Flow. It's really, really cool. It's one of my favorite tools. So it switches over to like my other desktop as well. So let's see. Let's do. So I'll be checking Reddit. Maybe I should do a new column: sources, Reddit, and what's that called? Reddit and YouTube. So those are things. Let's see. Peter Huynh says, do you buy individual stocks or just index funds? I do both. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people who buy individual stocks, I mean, majority of the people who want to buy individual stocks probably aren't ready for it. It takes time to research. My good friend Jason and a few other people, they spend a lot of time taking a look at things, researching things as well. It's fun. There are better resources out there than Kick-Ass Investing. Like Motley Fool is really great. There's one YouTube channel I really love too. So that's what I focus on. I focus mostly on getting beginners just started, getting so that they can just shovel their money in. That's the primary focus of kick-ass investing. So and I'll move some of these over in here. And what the fuck? I gotta use my other computer. This is so slow. All right, cool. So drag that in there, and come on. All right, cool. And so what I want to show you guys as well is some of the other tools I have. So I actually created this YouTube tool as well to kind of break down, like, one, I'm gonna have on my Kick-Ass Investing channel. I have a bunch of cool different tools that I built out with something called Airtable, so you guys can take a look at it. And let's see. Damn, this is so slow. This is like almost unbearable, dude. I gotta get a faster computer or something like that. Lemon says to buy. I would say, like, honestly, for most new people, it's probably, if you want to play. I didn't start playing with individual stocks until probably almost until I had 100K worth of index funds. So that kind of shows you like how long I waited, because I believe in having a strong foundation first, and then you can take like 5% of your monthly income, play with any stock, individual stocks that you want to as well. You can look at PE ratios, all that sort of stuff. But really, I think most people should be focusing on, dollar cost averaging, right? That's a huge thing, being able to dollar cost average, especially during this time, because it's so volatile. You can't really time the market. And if you wait too long, you miss out on the wrong opportunity, you lose out. So I would suggest that you invest a consistent amount, save. If you want to play with individual stocks and you don't have 100K, that's totally cool too. But what I would recommend is just take like 5% of your investing money and just invest in different stocks as well. So there's that. Uh, how do you avoid getting sued because you're giving investing advice? No, I'm not giving investing advice, by the way. Uh, so that's the real thing. It's there's always the disclaimer for any investing type of things as well, right? You need to have a disclaimer. I just recently got my terms of service, terms of all that sort of stuff too. That's another reason why I'm migrating over to something like Kartra as well, where it's not financial advice, because I mean, just like, it's very similar to just advice, right? Like, if I'm giving any sort of, it's for educational purposes only. It's not meant as financial advice at all. So yeah, there's always that disclaimer as well. But so in terms of Airtable, there's a few cool things that you can do with it. So right now you're taking a look at my grid. I actually need to clean it up because I actually did few new things to this. What the fuck? Come on. I built out a cool survey where um come on. I think I gotta rethink about doing this stream. Holy shit, this is taking way too long. Um, damn it. Hold on for a second. This is like really unbearable. uh, well, yeah, and AZ says, "Lol, Doug, you don't avoid it. You gotta expect it, bro." I mean, that's what damn Pena says. Like, dude, if you're going to go in business, litigation is a part about doing business, but there's also a lot of things that you have to be very careful about. And I think that's one thing that's really helped me a lot, is like working with clients and stuff like that. I've been able to. I gotta wait till this kind of loads, man. This is really taking forever to do, and it's like really lagging up my computer. So I think I got to what I need to do. I think I need to kind of click away and then click back if I want to show you anything, which is kind of like pain in the ass. Or I can try to edit on my other computer as well. So, and just do that. So I could do that. That'll work pretty well. But I actually have a lot of surveys, dude. Oh, here we go. Cool. So I'm implementing surveys too within my content so people can do user generated type of things, and then it will actually it will compile into this database full of like questions and stuff as well. So I'm trying to systemize everything that I'm doing a lot better, because one of my primary weaknesses is that I'm not a very organized person, right? So when I when when I want to create videos, I just want a list of articles, list of things that I can just go to and just make it work out. But man, this stream is not going the way I wanted to at all. I want to show you all the cool things about Airtable. I want to show you all the cool things about like all these different things, but it's really lagging. I think I might need to break out the MacBook Mini as well, or my Mac Mini right now, because it is this is just like way too slow. It's like ridiculous. Um, shit. Fuck. And what's really cool about Airtable too is actually I built out a whole portfolio generator too, based off of it. I'm going to be throwing it into kick-ass investing. So I'm really doing things to make things as easy as possible so that people can identify, hey, what's really good for them, what's not good for them, what are some reference portfolios as well. How long do you think this Corona lockdown will be? You know what? F this. I can't. This is unbearable. I'm gonna close out the Chrome. We're just gonna make this a regular Q&A, guys. So, oh well, didn't work. How long do you think this coronavirus will be? I have no idea. Honestly, hasn't affected me too much personally, because I'm more like I'm more remote. So since I'm not really in pharmacy or doing any of that sort of stuff, it doesn't really affect me too much. But in terms of lockdown, man, I hope it the one thing I do miss is just like seeing my friends. That's the only thing I miss. I miss seeing my friends. I miss the everyday things like going out to going just for boba or whatever, with friends. But it's also taught me a lot of discipline about kind of being able to focus. So things like dopamine detoxing I've been playing around with, minimalizing everything I'm working on, because I had my hands in way too many things, and I've actually done a lot of cutting out my clients, and just really focused on the things that, one, I love, second, the things I'm really good at, and third, the things I get paid. So then it just leaves a few things. It leaves one, YouTube. It leaves kick-ass investing. It leaves my closing clients as well. And that's pretty much it. That's all I'm focusing on at the moment. And so I really want to I'm really double downing in those areas at the moment as well. So yeah. Uh Rajero Alviguera, hope you grow beyond Dan Locke. Yeah, man, I'll be honest, I don't really associate myself in the Dan Locke world anymore, to be like I stopped doing that a long time ago. And it was his program really was very transformational for me. It got me into the world of sales and all that sort of stuff. I mean, honestly, do I believe that Dan Locke is like the best person to learn sales from? No, because I thought, you know what really held HTC in my opinion. I thought Kayvon was really a great teacher, and they had that whole beef and stuff like that. Um, but you know, from what I like, Kayvon was really the one. From what I know, because I don't see someone like Dan Locke like picking up the phone, being in a call center or anything like that. I know he positioned himself like selling his own products and stuff, but it's different, right? Because you have to realize when you have different clients, you always have to switch and be adaptive to your client, right? You can't have the same Dan Locke positioning if you're working on a different offer or anything like that as well. So, what are some of the chillest jobs you can think of that you might have done instead of pharmacy? Well, a really chill job that I actually recently found, and maybe I'll open up. I was on Airbnb, and I thought this section was really cool. And let me see if I can pull it up really quick while my POS like computer. I guess like all these like tools and stuff, they really slow down my computer quite a bit. So I gotta do something. But Airbnb has a section where it's like there's experiences where you can like it was really interesting. I was seeing people like, oh, take a tour of West Hollywood, go drink and bar hopping, and pay me $35, and I will take you and I'll take you there, right? So, um, wow, my friend's calling me right now. But yeah, it's not loading at all. So I think I gotta clear the cache or something. I don't know what's happening with my computer, or make sure that I have more hard drive space, because I recently edited that show I was telling you about, which was like almost what 30-60 gigs and stuff. It was ridiculous. I gotta find out a way to make the 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 file size a lot smaller. But I think a chill job might be doing something like digital market. This is fucking up my computer. Never mind. I think a chill job might be something like digital marketing, or maybe doing some sort of experience on Airbnb. I think service-based businesses or jobs are the best, as well, especially if you're a lot younger. I'd highly recommend you tying yourself to something revenue generating, whether you want to start your own business, or you want to recession proof yourself. Like the two areas that I believe that aren't going to be really cut too much, or for good business, for thriving businesses, are sales and marketing, because they're directly tied to revenue. So, and most people are kind of scared of it. It's scary selling and all that sort of stuff too, right? Rahero says, good to hear. That's great. What do you mean when you do a dopamine detox? Do you just lay in bed all day or meditate? Well, sometimes I do. Yesterday I did that. I pretty much forced myself to be bored, forced myself to not work. Um, it's really important. What dopamine detoxing, the whole theory is that we have so many things that give us a dopamine rush that we get pretty much essentially burnt out from it. That's what causes the burnout and whatnot. And so by abstaining from things like porn, really bad, like really flavorful foods, things like that. Alex Becker talks a lot about it, but that is something I've been doing a lot, like a, like quite a bit. And so it's really been helping me focus a lot more. It's kind of like, if you the only way I could describe it is like if you were in quote unquote jail, and the only thing that you could do was sleep, work, and meditate, maybe work out too. But those are pretty much your primary things. Now, is this sustainable in the long term? Probably not, but you need to give yourself a break. And so I usually give myself the weekends off. So I usually like Saturday, I'll do some I'll do some client, very light client work, literally like 15 minutes of client work, because it so happens to fall on that day. If I could take it off, I would absolutely do it. But since we have pending deals, clients, and all that sort of stuff, I just it has to happen that day. But then for the rest of the day, I'll just chill out. I'll just like do grocery shopping, or like really boring stuff, or just lay in my bed all day, I guess, right? So you can do like I do that, and usually come Monday, I'll also listen to ebooks and read during that day too, just so that and surprisingly, I've been getting a lot of really interesting ideas every single time. It allows me to plan out my week, plan out things I want to do versus I don't want to do. It's really great, man. Um, let's see. Uh, what I Daniel Danino. Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. Okay. Um, yeah. So that's pretty much dopamine detoxing as well, for the most part. And I've been doing it a lot. But I'll be honest with you. This week was a lot harder dopamine detox than the first week. The first week was relatively easy for me, but this man, for some reason this week the cravings hit, like cravings for junk food, cravings for like the prawn cravings for all the store stuff just hit. It was really bad. And so I've been really trying to learn, how do I get back on track? How do I not fall into these into negative patterns? Have you guys ever been in a situation where it's like, you screw up one habit, and then you make the cycle of continuously messing up. It happens. It really happens, and it sucks. So just been trying to figure it out. But for the most part, I've been what I realize is that it's not necessarily one thing that it's not like something that will change your life over just the period of a day or so, right? You notice this after like a week of dopamine detoxing, or like almost like a habit tracker. So I have a habit tracker too, where I just, like, every single morning I'll wake up, and then I'll start going down the list of things I need to do, or my morning routine. And it gets easier and easier and easier, to the point where I don't really think about it, and I just check the things off. And then that's how I get my dopamine rushes. Like, I don't know, it feels really good to just check things off my list and whatnot as well. And as a result, been being more productive, making more money with relatively less effort too, with my client as well. So that's kind of like what I've been. That's what I mean when it comes to dopamine detoxing and stuff. Man, this really sucked. I'm not gonna lie, man. This really killed my mood. I wasn't able to kind of like plan my content and all that sort of stuff with y'all, but I definitely will. Include these, like, some of these questions like in my course and stuff like that, or maybe free content and stuff like that on YouTube. So I'm planning, and even for like the masterclass and stuff like that, I really want to help people set up their Roth IRA as quick as possible. I want to help them get that first win, and I want as many people to take it, because it is a free resource. I think it's going to be the best resource out there. Although I do have to do there's a lot on my plate. So some of the things that are kind of like on my mind right now is that, one, I need to be able to see what other people else are doing, not to copy them, but to see how I can optimize the customer experience. Second thing, I'm really going away from a traditional, like, workbook, and trying to make like it a downloadable, like, immersive workbook. Like, I think the days of printing out shit and just reading from textbook is so boring. It's not very fun for people. That's not the best way to teach either. So I'm trying to kind of make things a lot more shorter, less editing, by the way, too, and just really making things a lot more concise, to the point, and having a checklist of things where people can kind of get that dopamine rush of getting everything done as well. So yeah. um let's see. Kevin Yee, do locals in your area feel increasingly sick of the lockdown and want everything to reopen? mm, I'm like probably one of those people. I wish like things like were reopened. I wish I could do jujitsu again, but it's just so happens that it. Unfortunately, this is the way things are. You have no control over it. So I don't know. I know some people are going wicked crazy, like not having a social interaction, not having this normal life again. But things will absolutely get back to normal. But it's like really a question of when, one of them. Uh, Rogero Alvarenga. Sorry, Alvarenga. Sorry, I screwed up your name, bud. I got another one for you. Since you're Canadian, I'm definitely not Canadian, by the way. But America, baby. What are your thoughts about Jordan Peterson? I don't really have any strong thoughts about Jordan Peterson. I did read like the first chapter of his book, 12 Steps to Life, or whatever. Um, 12 Rules for Life, or I forgot what it's called. I have it somewhere. Anyways, it is on my to read list, but I think he's a pretty like, from I've listened to him on Joe Rogan podcast and stuff like that. He's a really smart guy, really articulate. I don't see why people like hate him so much, to be honest with you. Like I have no idea. But I think he's really like from what Joe Rogan says. I mean, people really look up to him because he gives people a direction. I think the number one thing lacking these days is ways to find like your central north star. Like a lot of men, there's very little people who you can go to really learn how do you find your purpose in life, how do you do this. And through his 12 rules for life or whatever, uh you find that he's really the start of personal development. From what I've heard and read, I probably saw like most of the Joe Rogan podcasts episodes with him as well. So Armored Ghost says, "What made you think Kevin's Canadian?" Well, that this coronavirus is exposing a lot of business. Those that are weak or on the verge of filing for bankruptcy. Do you think business worth the heartache that we see that wait? Do you think biz is worth the heartache now that we see most people don't make that much? I will tell you this in terms of business. Not saying like you should pick a recession proof business, but I've always been a real fan of remote businesses in the past, right? I've never been, I mean, if you watched any of my streams from a few years ago too, I never really said, "Hey, Kevin wants to open up a restaurant" or anything like that. It was always in the digital marketing space where it's where I feel like is the most is not recession proof per se, but I think that's where like you avoid situations like these. Like sure, I mean if you're a new digital marketing business trying to start up right now, it's going to be really really hard. But if you're established business, even my friends that I've referred out to, they're killing it right now because people are in the, there's a lot of people who are in the money saving mode, but most businesses they're doubling down because ads are cheaper than ever. Um, it's a lot. This is the time where you can double down on the awareness of your business as well, and just and really add intimacy into your business, as Scott Ulster says as well. So I think Jordan Peterson scares people with the truth, but you know what's interesting about Jordan Peterson? I don't think he's that controversial. I don't see why people think he's controversial. He's telling you freaking sit up straight, freaking make your bed, right? Like stuff like that. And I think that is like so basic, but it's so necessary for people to hear. Like living a disciplined life. That's why I like people like Jocko, right? Where he leads to example like discipline equals freedom. That is so true, right? um and that's the point of things like dopamine detox, is because you can't have everything in the world that you want. You can like waste your time doing 10 billion things like I did. Like for a long time I was really unfocused, and still sometimes I catch myself being unfocused. But it's really, you know by living a disciplined life, you get to say yes to other things. If you say yes to everything, you're absolutely gonna lose. So yeah. Uh, Peter at Armor Ghost, depends on your business idea. Financing. That is true. Like I said, it depends on your business idea. I'm telling you guys this, like revenue tied businesses, like especially if you're offering a service based business like sales or marketing, that I mean, unless the business was fucked to begin with, you're probably not going to get cut. I mean, you're the last people to get cut. Most likely the ops will get cut. All the other parts of the business will get cut. But since you are directly making revenue, you're probably not going to get cut. But that's why, yeah. But no one could have known like this like all of this would have happened where you would have shut your doors down forever. I feel really bad for a lot of the small restaurant owners too, but I'm pretty sure that they're making a killing. There's a lot of asshole people too who are price gouging on Amazon as well. And I know Amazon's doing a better job, but still, like I've noticed all the prices for Amazon have increased dramatically, and it's it's tough stuff, man. Um, let's see. Just a stupid guess. 100% agree with you, says AZ. a new iPhone SE says I can't find my phone. I've heard about that, by the way. 30 what, 349 or 400 bucks I think for the SE. Haven't looked at it at all. I'm not really an iPhone user. I'm like a freaking I'm Android user. I'm trying to look for my, oh yeah, my S10. Got my S10 over here. So I love it. It's one of my favorite phones, by the way. One of the best decisions to switch over from. I was honestly, for a long time, I was a I was a pure stock Android type of person. I used Nexuses for the longest time. I used OnePlus for the longest time too, but my friends were just like, dude, you just gotta go Samsung. And I was like, really? Is it that good? I bought it, never looked back. I was like, holy fuck. Clean your room up, kiddo, says Rojero. That's awesome. Yeah, that was yeah, that's Jordan Peterson from what I remember. Now that's 2020. Is pimpin' easy yet? Pimpin' never ain't easy. Actually, you know what's really interesting? I've actually was listening to a lot of the OG like UGK and like OG like international players out Anthem and all those old school like H Town joints, bro. And it's just so funny, man. The music I used to listen to. I still love the music, by the way. It takes me back, man. And it kind of listening to hip hop again actually made me want to start producing again and start playing with Logic. I actually recently bought the full pack, like Logic, Motion, Final Cut. I mean, I already had Final Cut and stuff, but I bought like the whole pack with Logic X, Pro X, and so I want to start making beats on there and stuff like that. So I also have I think I have a Skillshare account too, but I haven't really looked at any tutorials on Skillshare or anything like that as well. So there's that. Oh shoot, cool. Uh, have you noticed any egg or meat shortages at Costco? You know what's really interesting at Costco? I haven't really seen huge lines anymore. Well, I still see huge lines, especially on the weekend, but I went just yesterday because I don't really buy a lot of stuff at Costco. I have a really small fridge, guys. I have pretty much a college fridge, like one of those mini fridges, and that's all I have. And I can't stock up my fridge, so I usually have to go, if I go to Costco, it's usually I buy 2 days out, 3 days out for any perishables and whatnot. And then greens I'll buy like 4 days, like 4 days out, because I recently been doing a lot of juicing as well, and I'll mix it with like turmeric and stuff, and turmeric, I guess that's how you pronounce it, just for fiber content, and been drinking it. It's been really helping my energy, by the way. It's really great stuff. But yeah, man, like honestly, Costco hasn't been as bad as before, which is good. I think the panic buying has kind of decreased. But still, like if you go at the wrong time, you'll see lines out the door, and I'm just like, whatever, I'll just come back, not a big deal. Right? So but I do find myself like during quarantine that I want to get out more. Like I'll find myself like, dude, like let's go for a drive, man. I've been just cooped up for way too long, and I still do my walking in, like I'm actually on my treadmill right now. I'm not walking right now, but I have my treadmill. I bought these pull up straps as well that I'm going to kind of I'm going to put it on my weekly hustle newsletter as well. And been doing a lot more yoga. Got a back buddy too. Um and built a T bar, a T, what do they call it? T handle kettlebell as well. So been doing swings and all that sort of stuff too. So yeah, man, it's just trying to stay fit. Obviously it's not the same as doing something like going to the gym and all that, but you just gotta do the best you can. That's life, you know. So how much does your gas cost now in your area now that prices have fallen? I think it's like it was like almost $2 per gallon. It was like ridiculous. I haven't been keeping up with like all the oil stuff and all that. I just noticed, I was like, damn, it's so damn cheap right now, which is, you know, I guess I don't know why the prices of oil have like gone down. What's your criteria for picking individual stocks? Um, So I guess like criteria for individual stocks. Typically I like to so I typically like looking at I'll pick a niche, right? So something like, I don't know, tech or healthcare or something like that, right? And I keep in mind I'm not the best at picking individual stocks, but back when, let's see, let me show you. Back when, oh yeah, I can't open up my browser. So some things I'll look at are like the PE ratio and all that for individual stocks. I'll look at the, especially for any bio type of um like any pharma type of things. I'll look at the phases and whatnot as well. I'll look at their pipeline to see what's coming up and whatnot. If they have a strong pipeline, um with like with some really big therapies coming up along the way, I might consider them. But keep in mind, like, buying individual stocks is pretty risky. Like, I've made a lot and I've also lost a lot too through individual stocks, right? It has, like, I'm probably like I the best stock that I ever bought was Juno, right? Where they got acquired by who did they get? Celgene. I think they got acquired by Celgene. And then I invested in Natera. They were doing really really well, and then they lost. I think one of their drugs didn't get approval, and it fell by quite a bit. So it does take quite a bit of research. Maybe I'll do like a separate video on individual stocks or pharma type of things. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you. It's been a little while since I bought any individual stocks because I'm more focused on online businesses at the moment as well, right? Because it takes time to research stocks. And that's why I'm saying, like, all that time that you could be researching an individual stock, you could just shovel it into like an S&P 500 or something like that, and that's good enough for a lot of people. But I did, like, back when I was in pharmacy, I used to invest like 5% of like what I made every single month into individual stocks, have some fun things as well. So yeah. Um, Corbell says, "Hey Kev, what's your opinion about opening up the country on May 1st? Is it open? Are they opening up May 1st? That tells you how detached I am from the news. No opinion, man. I mean, regardless, I think the whole point of opening up later, at least from what I've seen, right, is like the whole point is not to overwhelm the the hospitals, right? So I mean, I probably won't go out, be the first ones to go out and stuff. I think it's gonna be madness when everything opens up. Like, I'm not sure if they're planning to do a slow rollout, like what their plan is for kind of like this for this whole COVID type of thing as well. But we'll see. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I mean, honestly, my life is not gonna change that much. The main thing I'm gonna be focusing on is just going to jiu. I want to go back to jujitsu so bad. I want to go to the gym and do yoga and do all the things I love so bad, and just focus on those things. I really miss those things a lot. Before going individual stock trading, figure out your strategy first and goals for individual investing, then look at stocks that fits the strategy. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, there's a really great channel, by the way, for individual stocks. I gotta find it. I don't have it, right? But Tom is right. For me, like, my biggest priority right now is just like, I just want to shovel my money in. That's the only thing I give a fuck about half the time. So yeah. Um, let's see. By the way, Tom, funny thing, I actually tried showing Airtable and Notion today, but the whole my computer just shit the bed for some reason. I gotta either get a new computer or figure something out, or just clear out my computer as well. Did you ever fix that Airtable? Yes, I did. So Tom, by the way, lessons unlocked. He's been helping me out like with Airtable, trying to build a tool for kick-ass investing and all that as well. So there's like we've been like I swear, Tom, you're a lifesaver. And I was like, damn, I was struggling so much trying to build this tool out, but I think it's gonna help out a lot of people and make things very, very simple for people. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. I did look at it, by the way. I didn't see what you were seeing, like with the missing broken tables, but it looked good to me from my end. So yeah. Anyways, guys, is there anything else? Probably I'm gonna stick around for just a few more minutes and then head off because I have a lot of work to do. I have to What I want to do by the end of tonight is one, I want to be able to create those content ideas. Two, I need to finish up my weekly hustle newsletter and shoot it really quick. It's a new. By the way, if you guys aren't subscribed to this channel, you should. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna have this new show called the Weekly Hustle. I've been working on it for a little bit, and it's this new segment where it's almost like kind of like a podcast type of thing, but it's based off Tim Ferriss's 5 Bullet Friday, where I just share really great products, people, processes, ideas, and tools with you guys, to really help you guys live like more productive life, a better. It's just really cool. Like it feels like something that just watch it. You guys will enjoy it. So put in a lot of work. I'm looking into hiring another editor to just handle that workload for me as well. So all I have to do is shoot. So I've been focused on that as well. So anyways, guys, if there's nothing else, oh yeah, forward to it. Yeah, I also know it's really interesting. I actually built out an iTunes for it too. Or not iTunes, a like I bought the software that actually will take my YouTube video, rip it into a podcast format too. So I'm really implementing Gary V's content maximizer strategy as well. Uh, Kevin, low key, I feel like Jocko shut Tim Ferriss down. At least I stopped listening to him as much when Jocko came on. But oh man, Tim is the man. I like Tim. I like Tim for his content. I mean, to be honest, like Tim is that guy who has that really cool shiny shit, right? Like, oh, he has a really cool toy. He knows what he's talking about. He's like the nerd of like that whole thing. But I like copying that format, but it really inspired me of, hey, like I want to kind of document my journey to $10 million, right? I picked that number for a really, really good reason because Gary Vee, he talks about document, and I was like, what's a good way for me to kind of document, create content, because it's a very people don't realize how time consuming if you do everything right and you have a core focus on your channel. Because for Refugee Hustle, my name and all this, like I never had a clear intent behind everything. It just kind of happened and I just started creating content. And I just talked about shit that I wanted to. And that's something that I really love doing, right? And so I was like, what's some cool show? What's a cool show or cool content I can create to not personal brand, but to kind of document the journey and to emphasize like the emphasis on being great first and then creating products after, or creating things after, right? I think that's the thing that's missing in internet marketing. I talk about it on the podcast, by the way, but I just see so many damn products out there and I'm just like, dude, fulfillment is always lacking. And a lot of people who are teaching it aren't great yet, like it took, like, I was thinking about doing a side hustle, like academy. I think I mentioned it a few times and I took a step back and I was like, I've only been doing it for what? Like this remote digital lifestyle for about 2 years, right? And I really started last year, like when the money started coming in. That's not enough time. And so I was like, I need to play the long-term strategy. It's not right. Like, yes, I could sell something, I could create something, but it's kind of like in jiu-jitsu. I was telling Tom this, like, what do you really want? Do you want a black belt teaching you or do you want a fucking blue belt teaching you, right? And that's what, when you delve into the history of a lot of these internet marketers and all these gurus online, they don't really, it's not like they can't help you, but it's not like, I would prefer being the focus on mastery first is really lacking. And I've seen it. I've even seen it with some of my friends, my personal friends that, I'm friends with them, right? They're in this digital marketing space, but when I see their content and stuff like that, and then them proclaiming certain things, it's almost like fake it till you make it. I hate that shit, man. So yeah, how much money is enough money? We can hustle all day, but never feels like enough. You can make all this money, shovel in stocks, and you still feel broke. Well, so Peter, so here's the thing for me, right? Investing is just a way to inoculate yourself for risk, right? That was the biggest thing I got from investing, right? I learned how to strategically kind of think like, okay, I can take calculated risks and it'll pay off. And once I hit that 100K mark, I was like, wow, this actually really works, right? That was the first thing, right? And so really, how much is enough money? It's enough to sustain whatever lifestyle you want. For me, I'm very low key and all that, but I want options. I want options to support my family. I want options to travel when I want, where I want, to live that rich life, right? So having a remote income and making an impact in community in the world and financially in my pocket too, right? Also, I want something that's challenging in H. I want a hustle network where I'm working with people that I enjoy doing. So however much it kind of takes to support that lifestyle. And I came up with a number of 10 million for a good reason, because if you think about it, I stole this from Grant Cardone, by the way. By the way, if I ever get an idea, I will tell you guys where I actually got it from, not like a lot of these fuckers out here who just like take ideas and just claim it as their own, by the way. So, but Grant Cardone, I'm not a huge fan of Grant Cardone, by the way. Like some of his stuff is cool, but like when he tells you to sell your 401k, don't do that. Please not sell your 401k right now unless you have a really good reason why. And you do not want to be selling right now, especially when the market is down and stuff like that. So anyways, 100 so 10 million is 100K for like 100 years, I think, right? If I did my math right. Please, engineer or whatever, please look into that, right? But yeah, I believe that is 10 million. But that is enough for me to sustain the lifestyle I want. So that's what I'm trying to hit. And so once I can create that amount, then I can actually, it's not really, yes, it is for selfish reasons, but you cannot give to other people until you come out of abundance first, right? It's kind of like, putting on your mask, or what's a better example, right? It's kind of like you need to be able to be in a position to help people. And if you do not have the funds, if you're not coming from financial abundance, it's really hard to teach others, right? Or to help others even more impactfully. It's harder to make long-term plays and work on bigger and greater products if you don't have cash flow coming in. So that's the first goal for me, I guess, right? So yeah. And oh yeah, also one thing before I go into Armor Ghost's comment is how much money is enough money. Oh yeah, and so that's how I came up with that amount. But more importantly, yes, like when I was investing, I always felt broke because I never had. I was still working a job I fucking hated. I mean, sure, on paper it said I had cash, but honestly, if I left my job, I'd be worried because where's the cash flow coming from, right? And so, it's only the first step, guys. Like it's the first step to inoculate yourself against risk. And it's actually, surprisingly, it's not like a huge risky move, but it's a step in the right direction that I think will help people in the long term condition their mindset, in the future. Because in business, you have to take calculated risks, right? You have to take a bet on yourself, but you have to take a calculated risk because it's otherwise, what are you doing? You're gambling then. You might as well go freaking Vegas when it's not on lockdown, right? Throw it all on black or whatever you want, right? And just go from there, right? So yeah. Let's see. Where are all dislikes coming from? How did bots suddenly decide to lock on Kevin? I have no idea, bro. But I've just kind of learned to ignore it for the most part, because here's the truth, man. Trolls, I mean, if you have so much time to create all these fake accounts and have so much time to like harass me, essentially, right, even on my personal accounts and stuff like that, then I'm not saying I feel bad for these people, but it's just like, man, I mean, you have nothing else better to do with your time, and I'm just like, I feel bad, man, because chances are like I've been reading a lot about like trolling and all this sort of stuff because I'm kind of interested in the mindset, right, of people. And I don't know, man. Like they need help. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea, right? But who knows? Maybe they're just going through a rough time and they want to get out on me. They can, I guess, right? There's there's I don't really know what to do about it or anything like that, but you know, uh it's tough, man. It's really it's kind of tough dealing with like trolls and stuff, to be honest with you. I've actually talked to a few of my friends. I'm just like, dude, what do I do, man? Like, I'm getting all this dislikes and stuff, but it's been really teaching me how do you kind of focus, just focus on adding value, just focus on the important things. Don't focus on the likes or dislikes. Who gives a fuck, to be honest with you, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, the more engagement, the more my content will go out. But also just like focus on being great. Just focus on producing great content and you'll win the long-term game. So there's always setbacks. Interesting channel, Wall Street for Main Street, kind of doom and gloom but interesting. Steve Edwards says, "Yo, what's up?" Damn, got the you know what this guy, Steve, you know what you remind me of? You remind me of the photographer. Like, this is a compliment. The guy, his like name is Kai or whatever. I think his name is Kai. But he does like a lot of the film reviews, or not film reviews, camera reviews and all that sort of stuff too. So, yeah, man. Okay, guys, it's 7:06. I think I'm gonna tap out, y'all. Got some work to do before the week starts, so I will talk to you guys later. Make sure to check out the content tomorrow. I gotta write the thumbnails and do the SEO really quick on it, but should be really, really interesting. And it's something I feel good about. I haven't felt this good about doing content in a long time. Something that felt like authentic to me and stuff like that. And I haven't felt this pumped up to kind of release something in a long time. Isn't making 10 million super selfish, hoarding all that cash for yourself and not sharing it? Do you think everyone will hate you on the journey, then love you once you give it? Maybe, but it's, again, you got to make sure that you're coming from a place like, I'm trying to be super selfish so I can be super selfless, if that makes sense, Peter, right? There's a reason why that Gary Vee can give out all his advice and all that sort of stuff and take care of employees, right? Because he can take the hit during these times, right? I can't afford to hire all these employees and stuff and take on other people at the moment, right? It's only until like you can create a lot of cash flow and be able to take care of yourself where you can take care of other people too. So I don't think it's selfish. I think it's actually very selfless, especially for my future family, for my future legacy as well, like for generations to come. I want to make sure that they have all the options that they have. And I know the type of personality I am. I'm not a very greedy person at all. Like, most people know me. And I mean, I'm constantly taking people, like treating people out or all that sort of stuff. Not because anybody told me to, because I want to. I like taking care of people, man. That is something I love doing. But you can only do that once you're in a good position yourself, right? Thanks, man. I can make my DIY photo studio. Yeah, man. All right, guys. But in terms of love hate, who cares, man? Like, at the end of the day, I know my intentions of like wanting to help people, and I don't really need to validate that with anyone. I just want to share really great products to people and share the long-term game, or the in real life tutorial of how to hit $10 million, right? That is my goal. That is something that I want. So I think that that's that. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Peace, mother people.